You ever have that thing where you can kind of see outside of yourself for a moment and you sort of see either how absurd you are or how predictable you are or how hilarious you are. You just get this like little glimpse, right? You see yourself as you are. I had this one time when I was driving in my car, and I thought about the fact that if the car wasn't around me, I'm just this guy floating on a couch, and I had that moment with solo RPG. Like we were talking about it in the members Discord server, and I was like, man, we're weird, dude. And it was a really good feeling. It was like a really good feeling of we are super weird, and I love that because the bottom line is the net result of our weirdness is that I don't know any other way to say it. I think I'm like thrilled about something more times in a day than some of my friends are thrilled about something in like a month. I don't know what people get excited about, but I know that a lot of people in my life, like the thrill is gone. And I feel really sad for that. I mean, it's not terrible. There's people pursue lots of things besides the thrill. I just like having something that gives me these like measured doses of thrill. I find something, the Stygian library, I find this in my game store and I'm like, oh my gosh, this looks so cool. And it's a really beautiful book, and it's filling up my head with all sorts of ideas, and it's like a really different approach to a game book, and it's got like you're in a library, so it's kind of like a dungeon crawl, but it's also like a Dewey Decimal crawl or something. And then from this, I will find other stuff, right? I found like the Gardens of Yin, Settlers of a Dead God. This is for old school essentials, and I'm just like, I just love this idea that some weirdo. Now this isn't a solo game, but still weird. It just was like, I'm going to make a tabletop game, but it'll be just like any other game, except the world map will be one like cow's back who's decaying, and like all of the heroes and NPCs will be bugs. Beautiful, awesome tables in here, extremely inspiring for solo play. Enjoying these boons and banes from, is it Jenny D? Sacred Art of Gaming said that I made fun. I think I said Jenny die. I thought that's how you said it. So sorry. I don't know. I have not watched that channel very much. But these are really nice, and the book's really nice. And I don't know, maybe one day I'll strike it so big from the lottery or something that I'll have like a garage full of 33 cars. And yet even then, like if you give me this cardboard box that has like a clasp, I think I'll like this more than any of the cars. It's like one of my favorite things. Anyways, what I'm saying is like, I love this hobby, and it's weird. It's weird. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm excited about, which is so funny. Like sometimes I'm somebody will be like, did you hear that this is kickstarting? And I'll go, no, they're doing that again. And then I'll go to the Kickstarter and I'll be like, you bastards, kickstarting this. You don't need to kickstart it. But then I'll be like, oh, but it does look so good. Ooh, I want it. And then sometimes I'll also think about lying to you guys. Like because I'll go on these rants about Kickstarter every once in a while. And then I'll be like, maybe I could just kickstart this, and I'll lie to them and not tell them. But I never do. I can't do it. But yeah, it's I'm just so happy that we have this and that we found each other. And to that end, I had a vision. I had a dream that I rarely dream at night. I am one of those guys, right? Like isn't that what, to me, that seems like something somebody says who's like, I need to stand out in a group guy. Yeah, I don't even dream. It's like, yes, you do. Everybody has a round. No, but I do dream. But what I find is my dreams are either incoherent or they are utter tedium. In fact, this is really funny. A couple months ago, I was telling BB this. I had a dream, and I knew I was dreaming. And in the dream, I was like folding clothes or like washing dishes. It was something really tedious. And I was so bored that I started yelling up to like my brain, like, wake up, like, come on, I don't feel like doing this anymore. So when I have a dream that is like vivid and meaningful, I really take it seriously. And I'm not kidding. I had a dream. And what I took away from it was I had a vision of Bethlehem. Stay with me. I had a vision of Bethlehem, and I also had a vision of a like a foundry. Okay. Now, I don't know what Bethlehem looks like. In fact, I looked it up. It is in Palestine. And like once I saw it, I was like, yeah, okay. I would have thought that that's like what it looks like now. And I was like, this was not from my dream. And so then I just typed in like, and some of you probably know exactly where this is going right now. And I must have known in my subconscious, well, obviously because it came up in a dream, but I suddenly realized, typing in Bethlehem and steel, that the Bethlehem steel plant is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. And as soon as I saw that, and remembered when I went through there a long time ago, I think it was 2015 or 16, so almost 10 years ago. And just like that, something in me that was marinating, percolating, erupted. And so then we arrive here at the point of this video, which I shall now share in, you guessed it, a PowerPoint presentation. My goal is in 2027 is to have the first SoloRPG festival. Again, I think some of you may think that I'm joking right now. I'm not. I would like to do this. And I made this PowerPoint to demonstrate that I would like to do this. However, there's some issues, okay? The issue is I can't do it right now. Like, I can't do it just this moment, which is like, if you want to do something, you should just do it, right? And so part of me said, don't say anything. But I had a vision. And I had to figure out what it meant, how it was related. And so as I started to like sort of follow this down, things just kept coming. And I was like, I need to just put this into the ether. Some of you are laughing at this. I understand. I hope you will come. Some of you will say this makes no sense. I understand. I have created a perspective itinerary of events. I'm going to show you how I think this could happen, but I wanted to explain first and say there are two things right now that are making this impossible. And I mean that right now. Number one, BB and I have to get married, and the process is a little bit tricky, and I'm not going to even start planning anything like this until that happens. And also, I'm not going to plan anything because in addition to having to jump through lots of hoops for that, I'm also finishing my doctorate. All right. So right now, I cannot add this. Like, I mean, I already am overloaded with stuff. Well, that's not true. I'm perfectly loaded. But I cannot add this. I can't add this. But I think we can start thinking about what it looks like. And my thought is that we do it like this. Once I get past like some of these hurdles, the minute I get past this, like right once BB and I are married, once that degree is in my hand, my hope is that some of us can meet. And it would be those of us who are interested in planning it. And I've actually made a slide about what kind of individuals we're going to need for this. I don't want to hear about it right now. Or should I say, I'm not accepting any pitches. So like if you send me an email saying like, I run this business, I can get you these many chairs or catering, I'm not able to do that right now. I am interested if you're a member of the Discord to say like, hey, just so you know, I have experience in this because that's really cool. But I'm not planning this. I am not planning this. If it's going to happen, we are going to make it happen. Okay. But I had a vision. That's all I'm saying. So once that's done, my idea is that in 2026, a year before the festival, we have a group of us that want to do this and we meet. All right. And we are going to meet in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, which will be the site of this conference. Okay. Bethlehem is a special place. Because it used to have the Bethlehem Steel Mill. That was the second largest producer of steel in the United States. When it closed down, there was a lot of, obviously, economic turmoil. They have since recovered their economy through a Christmas-based economy. It is in, I guess you'd call it maybe southeastern Pennsylvania. It's close to Harrisburg, closer to Philadelphia than Pittsburgh. And now you might be saying, why Bethlehem? Like, what is in Bethlehem? What does it really even have there? Well, honestly, I think a better question would be like, what does Bethlehem not have? It has literally everything that you could want in a town, including they have a Christmas tree toss. Actually, this is pretty wild. I don't know what that is. That's some building actively being demolished in Bethlehem. Pretty awesome picture from a few years back. When I made this video, which is, I made it on Wednesday, February 5th. This article was 7 hours old. A sinkhole opens in the front of home in Bethlehem. Part of car hangs over edge. This is from 7 hours ago. You can see that like right here. Oh, wait a minute. Well, there we go. Right there, 7 hours ago. So there's what's not there, right? It's beautiful. In actuality, I am just kidding. I mean, obviously, and this is also a mean kidding because it was an economically depressed place, but the only reason I'm able to kid like this is because they literally have like rebounded and they have this huge Christmas tourism industry, and it is just an adorable, cute as can be little town that has, if you look in the top left picture there, it has like this industrial flavor to it. It has small town America. It has cobblestone streets. It has these row houses, which are really sweet and cute East Coast sort of setup if you have not been to the East Coast United States. And so it's idyllic, little small town. But the most important thing that Bethlehem has is it has a steel mill. The steel stacks, as it's called. Now you may be wondering, why? What does that have anything to do with a solo role-playing game conference? Well, I wondered the same thing. And it turns out that this place is called Steel Stacks still. It's a decommissioned steel mill. And that's like what it looked like some years ago. But you can already see they started to improve it, put some art around it. And if you look there, on the bottom of that picture, that's a concert. And now they made this entire place into like a gorgeous arts and entertainment district. This is great. This is weird, right? And so in this arts and entertainment district, they have something that's called art quest, maybe. And this art quest has a beautiful indoor space. And I just had to put that credit on the bottom there because it looks like it's from somebody who's a wedding photographer. So great job, Vanessa. Thank you. I hope you're okay with me using that photo. Get in touch with Vanessa if you have a wedding. But yeah, so this is what the inside of that space looks like. And they have conference services. You can rent out this for a concert slash conference slash festival slash, I mean, what would it really be called? It would be like SoloRPG Fest, right? We would have to come up with something that ties in Bethlehem, Steel, and Solo. Like instead of Steel Stacks, Solo Stacks. I don't know. And so, following my vision, I said, well, this place looks beautiful. This space looks beautiful. What does it cost? And then I was like, okay, $200 per hour. Wow. Okay. So assuming that we did 2 days, right? We had people come in on Friday night. Maybe we did like some little activity on Friday night. And then we did 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday. We could do other stuff at night, but not in the conference hall. And then we did 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Sunday. We're looking at what, like 20 hours? So, yeah, that's a lot, right? But of course, if you want any of the other stuff, it's more. And you could say, well, I don't really want any of that other stuff. Well, unfortunately, a $70,000 minimum is required to rent this facility. So I was devastated. What's going on here, right? I was like, no, I had the vision. This is the vision. This can't be. And so I'm looking all around the website. I was like, do they have like a littler facility? They have one that's like in the steel stacks where you get like, like asbestos lung, but we'll do it. Like we're solo players. All of us we don't even have lungs. We don't even breathe. So I didn't find anything. I did put in a little inquiry about it. I'm not holding my breath for that. Options. But I was feeling kind of sad because I got myself really excited and I said, well, what did this all mean then? And then there's this little tiny section of the website that's like, if you're planning a visit, and I checked that out, and what do you know? Right by the steel stacks, in fact, right in the steel stacks locale, is Holiday Inn Express. That's right. Why would I rent out a $70,000 hall if Holiday Inn Express has a conference services center? So I look it up, and you know what? They do. And it's not great. Now, this is probably going to be a small festival, but I think it would probably be bigger than one room, right? And in order to get people to come, some people, we want to come from around the country. I don't know if we would be able to get someone from out of the country even, but I said, is this really one room? And they said, no, we have different configurations, but I realized all of these different configurations are in just the one room, and that no matter what configuration you do, the top number of accommodation, I think, is 57 people. I'm sorry, 37 people. And so that doesn't seem like it's going to do it. Although the banquet style looks fun. We could have a banquet or a workshop style or something. But I said, you know what? This would be great for the first, like the pre-meeting, so that we can have like put together the team and say, okay, in 1 year's time, we're going to be back here and we're going to have Solo Fest going on. And if we build it, it will come. I know that this community could help us logistically with it. I know that people could help us get ticket sales. I know people will buy merch for fundraisers. I know we can do this, guys. Like, I know we can. We just need the space, right? So that's fine for next year. But what about the year after that? Well, look right under that. Comfort Suites. Do they have a meeting space? Indeed, they do, my friends. And it is slightly more expensive than the Art Quest or whatever it's called. But it's within the realm of like what could be paid using ticket sales. And as I look more into this, I realize there are lots of different rooms. And you can combine the rooms. There's like Allentown room, the Easton room, the Bethlehem room. The Bethlehem room fits 224 guests. There's a boardroom, the Easton room, the Lehigh Valley ballroom. Literally, we could, if with a conference with just like tables and stuff, some places to eat, things like that, we could easily get what I am targeting right now for like the guests. Which, to be honest, and maybe some of you would adjust this, but it would be my dream to get 75 people to this. 75 people would be amazing. What are we going to do there? Well, if I were just, talking out of my beehole, then I wouldn't need to think about that, because it would be one of those things where we just kept saying, oh, wouldn't that be cool if? Wouldn't that be fun if? Man alone doesn't deal in the wouldn't that be cool if statements. Either it's going to be cool or it's not, right? We got to figure out what it looks like and if we want to do it. And here's what that looks like to me. 2-day in-person convention focused exclusively on solo play. We welcome journaling, non-journaling, narrative solo card games like Rangataki. That would be great. Game books, solo supplements, solo adaptations of non-solo games. But we mostly exclude things, at least for the first year, for like solo board games, non-narrative solo card games, so like Magic the Gathering. I don't want that to be like infecting the play. And probably miniature wargaming. That's just a different type of size. I mean, there is, I've been trying to get the attention of Mantic Games from the UK. They have like really nice small playing boards with solo rules, but no luck as of yet. But yeah, so it's in Bethlehem, PA, 50 to 70. The reach would be 75. Check in on Friday night. Saturday and Sundays, full days, kind of end around dinner on Sunday. Panels, workshops, guided play, GM-less actual plays, co-op play, game clinics, design clinics, showcasing of indie solo RPGs. And we would even invite some of our like faves, even if they, don't exclusively make solo. Not that, I don't know. Who knows if we get this, but I bet you we can get somebody from Free League or Chaosium to come for a day. I mean, why not? Set up a table, do a workshop. We got to try to get Alex T to come in from Lisbon or Barcelona or wherever he is. And then I would like to make this living campaign that throughout the festival, the convention, whatever we want to call it, we are all creating this shared narrative. We're all sort of like playing. And you could do that in different ways. We could have like a raffle tickets. We could have people doing like QR codes to make different choices, voting on different options, okay? What could we do in these game design sessions? We could have people who have designed solo RPGs teach solo-friendly mechanics. We could have a collaborative session where people work together to like create a solo game or to convert a non-solo game. Like we'll reveal a game that's not solo specific. We'll take off the drape and we'll say, okay, everybody, you have 2 hours to make solo rules for Imperium Maledictum for Warhammer. Go, right? We have to have cubicles, which I think is so funny. I mean, just for like these things, is like whenever you need time to go solo play, you can go do that. But we'd have spaces for people to like work on design stuff together, play collaboratively, just hang out, talk about different it's just really like a chance for us to show each other who we are. And I think that is would be an appropriate time if we were able to do this. If you look at the third from the bottom in this section, we do a man alone reveal that includes a massive solo game GM by yours truly. I'm thinking of like a bunch of people at tables, literally looking like we're playing a game of bingo at like a casino with just rows of people, and all of us are playing a massive, hilarious game together. We could have an award ceremony at the end where we could award people from the conference, or we could just do like the voting of like what we can literally be like the solo version of the Ennies, the Solies, the Solords, whatever we call it. Flip session where we have a non-solo creator. We like teach them how to make solo games. And of course, BB's place for books and tea once I let BB know we're doing this. And a white elephant, Secret Santa kind of solo, whatever. These are just ideas of what we can do, because I think the first thing that a lot of people who laughed at this video and who just thought it was a joke, or the guy that wrote the other day like, oh, solo RPGs, I didn't know I didn't know this big of losers existed. And it's like, well, actually it's like, I have to say that probably the person who takes the time to write that out, and also the person who feels a sense of moral superiority when you are probably a group RPG geek, like just like us, that's you're the loser. But we could do anything we want. And I just wanted to demonstrate the different sorts of events. We could have panels, we could have discussions, we could have collaborative solo plays like we're doing with the Forbidden Lands collaborative stronghold thing, all sorts of stuff. I want it to be at a non-exclusive hotel, possibly a motel with a large meeting room. We would sell tickets, figure out for a price. We can crowdfund to help fund the event. We can do some sort of merchandise for it. BB and I have actually like a really, really good idea right now in terms of raising money. We have something that would be a very cool. Well, I'll keep that under wraps. We could have a book that's released there. Maybe if somebody wanted to time up the release of their book for exactly that, maybe we get signed copies of it. Kick off a crowdfunding campaign. People selling merchandise, like whatever, you know. I mean, it would be something that we would have to try a lot of different things and see what works. Okay, so I showed you the plan. I showed you that what I think is the need, or what's like the what we would need to sorry, this is the plan and here's what we would need. In my estimation, this is, we'd have Man Alone, of course, the visionary, inspiring leader at the top. The BB, she's the BB. But here's some other things that just I thought very, very comprehensively, exhaustively about like what we would need. And so this is where once, and it's just to give everyone a heads up, it's probably going to be October next year, or not next year, but like I'm saying October, this upcoming October, when I would begin to be able to like schedule that first meeting. And I think that first meeting would probably be, if everything went to plan, would be sometime over the summer in 2026. And then a year later, summer 2027 would be when this would be. If it could happen, I don't know. I'm not going to overpromise here. That's one thing. Like when I first started making this video, I had this whole thing where I was like, I promise you. And it's like, I can't, because it's not me giving it, right? It's like not mine to say. We would have to be willing to come together to do this. All of us would have, it can't be me. Like it is like an, if you build it, they will come. But like, there's only so many of us, you know? It's like, oh, am I going to increase the market share of people from 90% to 95%? So yeah, if you want to look over this list here, here's some things that might not at all come up. They might be able to be handled by other people. But, you know, I think again, I'm not really ready to hear about it yet, other than if you're somebody who's like, hey, just so you know, I know about this stuff or something like that. But please do not send me any pitches. Do not tell me to work with your cousin. I literally don't care yet. Like, I can't even think about it, and it will make me not want to work with you if you send me that stuff now, because you'd be crowding me, bro. You'd be crowding me. But yeah, if you want to just let me know if you have an idea about this stuff. Honestly, I know some of you have already that have some of these expertises, teasies. And also the last thing on the right is we'd have to make sure that if we had security and safety, it'd be called sword and sorcery. All right, so now that's the plan. This was the need. And what is my hope for this? Well, my hope for this is that we are able to produce something that is fun, that has maybe it could have some music, maybe it could have a performance of a soul, like, who knows, maybe we could do something like that we could make up a solo story on the spot. Maybe we could have some sort of Mad Libs thing. Maybe we could have a stand-up, do a set. Maybe we could have a band play you know, whatever. Like, we could have people that have something totally oblique to what we think is included in solo play, and we can have them do a session. We could have a person do like screen printing. How could you incorporate screen printing? We could have someone that does you know, a museum curator, and say, oh well, how like what can they give us as in far their expertise and their experience that would inform us. An author, a yoga instructor, so you could play yoga, a modern dance, whatever. It's like that the importance of this experience, and the beautiful thing about this hobby is, like, we'll just take whatever and make it into play, right? But we're gonna need this, right? This is what we're gonna need. And not just that, we're going to need like that, right? And then once we have that, we're probably going to need that. And then hopefully once we have that, we could have something that gives us that. Okay? But really, what I need at this point, more than anything, it's not even what I need, what I'm hoping for right now at this point is that you believe in this. Like, if you started watching this video and you thought it was a joke and you continue to think it's a joke, fine. I'm just not gonna, like, I just can't engage with that, because I really do feel like this could be something. If you thought it was a joke at the beginning, but you think this might be cool, might work, you're interested, great. Believe. That's all. I don't even need, you don't have to sign up anywhere. We're not even close to that. If people start believing that this is something that can happen, then it will, okay? And that's all we need right now. I mean, sort of, we could use some more if anyone wants to give me money or something. Okay, well, that's my presentation, and I think that there's no reason to think that I'm the only one who could, make this all happen, but I would be very happy once we're ready to go to take on that sort of truly a leader. I'm not a very good manager, but like if we needed a vision for this, if we need someone to carry that torch forward, and honestly, just thinking about how many of you are creators, that how cool would it be for us to be able to like spend a weekend, make friends? Like, do you think we could walk away from that weekend and not make some new friends? Like, I would be shocked if I didn't come away from that weekend with like 10 people who are like now going to be part of my regular interactions, and not just as like a faceless, nameless internet person, but now it's like, hey, I got to keep August 2nd clear because it's Solo Fest. Solo Stack. Steal me steal my heart, solo fat. We'll figure it out. We're good at this kind of stuff. But yeah, if you have some critiques, I don't care. I can't right now. No thanks. I guess I can't stop you if you're just gonna rip on me. But if you do think that this could happen, if you think that I haven't lost my marbles, please let me know. And I guess it just comes down to this, and this is going to be like a very pure thing. It's the purest thing I have to say. I would just really love to meet all of you and do this with you. Okay, so if it doesn't happen, no problem. But I would love this. This would be one of the best things I ever did. So, and I've done some cool stuff. So, hope that was something to shake you out of your pork chop dinner. And I'm not even going to play the outro or anything. Well, maybe I should. Just hold on. Turn your volume down a little bit just in case this like blows your ears out again. But let me know if this is out of balance. 3, 2. That's a little loud. But I don't get it. It's the same. It's actually a lower volume than my microphone. So I don't understand. I really don't understand. How do you do this? How do you balance audio?